Why do we lose sense of time when we're sleeping?
Why do we?
Lose sense of time when we're sleeping.
Why do we lose sense of time when we're sleeping? Try now. Do you understand what I mean by now? And if we represent the past, we could imagine that the past is like a vast space that extends endlessly behind the now. And the future is a vast space that extends indefinitely in front of the now. Yes. And the distance between the past and the future is what we call time. The distance between two events in the past and the future. So now let's explore time, past and the future. So now just for a few moments, leave the now and visit this place that we call the past. When I say visit it, I don't mean just think about it or imagine it, because if you think about it, say you take the image of breakfast this morning. That image doesn't take place in the past, that image takes place now. Don't you just think about the past or imagine the past, I mean go there, leave the now, just step out there, go into the now.
That's not possible.
Okay.
Because if I try to step into the past, that effort is happening now.
Exactly. So, can anyone here, just while we're discussing, can anyone here step out the now and visit the past just for a few minutes? Can you imagine that anybody that has ever lived, not just us kind of weirdos that are interested in non-duality, but regular people, could you imagine that any of them could, just for a few moments, step out of the now and actually go to the place that we call the past?
No.
Okay, so if nobody's ever been there, and presumably the same applies to the future. Yeah. So if nobody has ever been there, how do we know that this place called the past really exists? Surely experience must be the test of the existence of something. So if nobody's ever been there, nobody's ever got a glimpse of it, how do we know it's there?
We don't really.
We don't.
No.
We don't know it's there. We imagine it's there, but we don't know it's there. We have no knowledge of it at all. Could it be that it's not there?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be in line with our experience? In other words, could it be that the past and the future don't exist in the way that our minds imagine them?
Yes.
After all, have you ever experienced anything apart from now?
No.
And how many nows have you experienced in your life? Well, let's just take today. How many nows have you experienced today?
That's a trick question. One.
So all your life, you're only going to experience one now.
Yes.
And believe, the now is not this fraction of a moment sandwiched between these two vast spaces of the past and future. The past and future aren't there. So now is not a moment in time. We normally think that now is moving slowly through time. How fast is the now through time or experience? So that's a trick question.
It's not moving.
It's not going anywhere. It hasn't come from anywhere, and it's not going. This now is the only now there is, and this now is not a moment in time. How long does this now last?
It's eternal. 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 It's eternal.
experience time when we're asleep. Actually, we don't experience time when we're awake, but we seem to. But when we're asleep, we don't even seem to experience time, because the mind is present in sleep. So that's why you seem to wake up in the same moment that you fall asleep, because there is no time in between two waking states or two dream states.
Okay. That's confusing, but it makes sense. 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 It makes sense.
It's confusing.
It makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. That's confusing, but it's confusing, but it makes sense.
It's confusing, but it makes sense.
Okay.
It makes sense. Yes. So now let's explore. Just stick with it. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Slow down. Yes. Not just.
It's not moving. That's confusing, but it makes sense.
It's confusing because we can everything when we compare that, I say, because you agree with everything that I say, you've understood your own experience, and you've agreed with it. It's very simple what I say. Just stick with it. You've agreed with it. But when we compare that with the way reality seems from the point of view of the mind, it conflicts with the mind's view of reality. Superimposes its own limitations on reality and makes reality appear in a way that is consistent with those limitations. If you put on a pair of orange sunglasses when you're sleeping, you very quickly forget you've put the glasses on and the snow appears to be orange. You think the snow is orange. The snow is appearing in accordance with the limitations, the colouring of your glasses. Because you have forgotten that you are looking through this primitive medium. You think that the orange colour belongs to the snow. Now, each of our minds is a limited. Our minds are the orange glasses, but the orange colour is time and space. That's the tint of our minds, time and space. So when consciousness looks through the time and space glasses of our mind, it sees a three-dimensional world, four-dimensional world, three dimensions of time, one dimension of space. And we think time and space belongs to the world, or it doesn't. Time and space are the orange glasses through which consciousness is looking at eternity.
It's confusing.
Time and space are the orange glasses through which consciousness is looking at eternity.
But it makes sense.
It's confusing, but it makes sense.